Coach Josh, the same thing. Your thoughts on the scrimmage coming out of it on Saturday?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts about it, and the thing that you like about going into the stadium is it makes it more game-like. And then we had a non-scripted scrimmage, so Coach had an idea what he wanted. I know what he wanted now, but we didn't know going in, so we had to prepare just like a game. And that helps you as a coach to get ready a little bit too, because when you go out and practice, you have it all scripted out because you want to make sure you get this run, you want to get this run to the left, you want to get this run to this young man and all that. So it made it a lot more game-like. So, that was the big emphasis probably. What my thoughts were, though, about how it went was that I was very pleased. These are the positives, that the first offense and the second offense and the third offense didn't have a lot of the first scrimmage bust. Like, we didn't have 12 guys on the field. We didn't have 10 guys on the field. Neither one are good. We didn't have anybody wrong substitution in the game, okay? We didn't have really a lot of penalties. The first group really only had one penalty. A guy jumped off sides, which for the first scrimmage, that's almost unheard of. You know what I'm saying, really? So those things are pleasing. The first offense did not have a turnover. They did not have a turnover. We did put the ball on the ground 2 times, okay, that we were able to get it back. So, those were some of the good things about it. We did have some big plays. We didn't have enough big plays, I didn't think, by the one offense. Now, you're going against your own defense, so that, it's a tough little deal right there. The thing that did kind of stand out a little bit, though, was I didn't think that the second and the thirds were very good. And you have to be careful of that as the coach. You're sitting there in the press box, and you kind of get frustrated, because you got 3 different groups going. The third group's probably your scout team, okay? Those guys that are redshirting or whatever. So you've got to bring them on. You want them to do good, so you're getting frustrated at them. They're probably not going to play in the game for a while. The second group really does need to be ready. We did have Sean Bailey out up front, and then we had that little dude. Little dude makes all this one. I can't think of his name, whatever his name is. He wasn't in there, and that really makes a big difference. You'd like to have him, but wow, what great practice! Because how about if he's not in the game? Or how about if the team just takes him out and double teams him like Central Florida did last year? It forces you to say, man, we better have a plan for what happens if we don't have what's his name, Tom?
Tyler Sneed.
Yeah, there you go, Tyler Sneed. So and then just to wrap it up, because I know I get long-winded here, I didn't think we had maybe the excitement on the offensive side of the ball that I would like to have seen us have. And, it's the first time Coach is in the press box, so I don't know. I don't think I had anything to do with it, that I wasn't down there. But I just saw, even we scored on the second drive, the offense did, with a really nice throw by Holton to Cam. And, we had an end zone view. You can see the sideline. About 3 guys went, like that. Well, that's in a touchdown in a game. I mean, because we're playing it like, I'd like to see a little more exciting. Later in the scrimmage, Raji Harris made one of the greatest effort, second effort, third effort runs that I've ever seen. It was an unbelievable run. We blocked it well. He popped it. Then about 17 guys hit him. He spun out of it, fought. And I didn't feel like we were chasing the ball or everybody was. I would have thought the coaches would have been having to hold everybody back. So I didn't think we were at that mentality. That's one thing we talked to the offense about this week, about let's play every down, every situation like it is that Super Bowl. So that's my thoughts. Just that.
Good thought.
How is the offensive line responding to this many days of consecutive heat?
It's hard. It's hard on the big guys. Those guys are all 300 plus, and you kind of say, well, you got to challenge those guys. Those guys got to be the tough guys. But it is the hardest on the offensive line guys. And so Sean Bailey's been out. Now you're 1 down. Somebody has to move up. Somebody has to get double reps. Trent Holler was out, the second center. That had a lot to do probably with the twos not maybe doing as well as I'd like for them to do. So it's been a challenge because they told me, and I was up in the press box, I did not think it was very hot. I thought it was about 72 up there, I guess. And I really did tell the person, can you turn that down to about 68? And I had a Gatorade, and I had a great view, and I didn't understand. When I went down there after the scrimmage, I was like, damn, it's hot down here, ain't it, guys? And they were all like, yeah, Coach. Even the backup quarterbacks that didn't play much were sweating like crazy. They said the heat index was 106. So I thought, well, okay, you got to take that into consideration. Now, we all know that if you live in this part of the world and you're going to play football games in early September, okay, that could be the case. We've had some games like that. So we expect Charlotte to be hot. We expect the first game here at noon, since Tom scheduled that game at noon with South Carolina, to be a hot game. So it is stuff, we're doing it, and we need to do it. But that doesn't make them feel better while they're going through it. But they're a tough group. Coach Shanks, he's phenomenal. He ain't going to let them get an inch.
Does Shank handle the heat better than the players?
No. No, he does not.
Have you noticed any separation in the battle for the backup quarterback spot?
That's a thing that I'm about to, what little bit of, that's why I have a little less hair, I guess, now. I'm pulling it out because there's three of them, Mason Garcia, Alex Flynn, and Ryan Stubblefield, and they've all done good stuff, and then they've all not done good enough to really claim that job. And so I heard one of your comments, somebody said something to Holton about it, but you didn't get to play enough. We played 40 snaps, but that's why he only plays 40 snaps, that's our preseason game, is because we have to make ourselves play those other guys, because it's reality. Eventually you're going to have to play somebody else. So you get out there and you want to compete, and everybody wants to win, everybody wants to taunt the other side and a whole bit, but you have to fight that as a coach and say, yeah, but we can't just leave Holton in there. Holton was 16 to 21. Tom counted it wrong. I think he had him 14 for 21. He's from Texas. They don't know that. So he was having a pretty good day. If you leave Holton in there, you're going to look a lot better no matter what. The other guys all had good days today, though. Okay, again, so I'm just going to have to make a decision eventually, probably, and go with your gut feeling, because they're not doing it right now.
Would you ideally like to make that decision after the scrimmage, like especially when the prep begins after this?
That's exactly what the thoughts are. Sometimes you're in there with a competition for the first spot. We're not at this point, and that's okay, because Holton can handle that. The team can handle that. They know he's the guy. He's not going to take a day off knowing, okay, well, I've got the job locked up. He's not that guy. But we have to make a decision after the next scrimmage. So all the practices are important as well. So the scrimmages are not the only thing, because you won't get enough situations of them in it. You don't have enough reps. The big guys can't stay out there for 7 hours to get the quarterbacks enough practice. So we'll have to judge it on, like, we had a really good team period today, and all our team periods are scrimmage. They're really live. I mean, there's no holding back. We had a great red zone deal. Those will be tremendous reps to grade from the quarterback, see how they did. And then, but the scrimmage Saturday, I got to get them equal numbers, try to get some situations created, and then we'll have to make a decision. We'll have to go with it, because it's time to roll then. It's time to go play ball.
Are you seeing improved communication on offense with the familiarity between players, not just Holton calling things, but the line, the receivers, tight ends, those guys calling out formations?
I am. Where we're at right now offensively, and offense, sometimes there's some growing pains to getting ready to all the things you have to do. We're to the point now where we didn't have a lot of busts, okay, a guy went the wrong way. A guy ran the wrong route, okay? We were in the wrong protection. But where we're at now is the technique wasn't good enough. You didn't stem the DB to get close to him to create the separation. You didn't, stair-step the guy on the route because it was man coverage, not zone coverage, so you didn't separate. Some of the tackles floated too much and then got beat inside in pass protection. He knew he had that guy. He knew that guy was blitzing. The quarterback saw it. They re-ID'd it. They called the blitz out. We all got the right people going. Somebody got beat because they lunged, or something. They used poor technique. That's the part now offensively. We've got to keep running the same plays, and get those things down. And that's where we're at right now.
So on Saturday, Holton brought up, last week was his first week since he became the starter not having Tyler Snead. Do you think this has allowed him to grow and not having that number one reliable target?
I did not realize that, and that's a good point. I think it puts him in a good situation. As a coach, what you do with your players is you go out there, and this especially with the quarterbacks, you try to put them in uncomfortable positions and situations to prepare them for what can happen. So you're always out there working on drills where not you just drop back and there's great protection and the guy's wide open and you throw it. Okay, you work on going back, and then you make them move around, then you make them sprint and bail, and they got to scramble, and they got to throw that route on the run. He's got to come out of that route and get in the scramble drill. So you're always doing that, and then you want that chemistry for the receivers and the quarterbacks and building all that, but then you still want to keep stressing them because how about you're right? How about if something happens to Tyler? And you know, we've been using Maceo O'Donnell, okay, as a running back because we thought we needed another back, okay, because we got freshman and Pops working third, but we need a Maceo. I think he can help us there. With Snead out, we were talking as a staff, and Coach Houston first brought this up. Maceo may have to go back and play some H, okay, receiver behind Snead, you know, just to make sure we got somebody ready. Because Jari Patterson was doing great, got injured. Now he was back today. Cam, we put Cam in there. He did do some good things, caught a touchdown, and then he had overheat today, and so he was out. So we got to keep working on that.
Did any other wide receivers stand out? You mentioned Cam had a big play from Saturday.
C.J. Johnson did. C.J. Johnson's had a great camp. C.J. had 2 just absolute great plays out there. Again, they don't get a chance to get that many catches because we were spreading it around. I had some of the third down scripted, not only by what play I wanted to run, but who I wanted to run that play to. So we put C.J. in there. I did it with Josiah as well. Josiah ended up getting a turf toe, so we didn't get to do it much with him. Put CJ on a couple routes like these are routes we usually throw to Snead. Okay, this is a route that's, I mean, we could call it Snead because that's who we throw it to. All right, Snead's not in here, CJ, you're getting that route today. And he went out there and made that play, so that was really, really encouraging. And then right before the half, we did a 2-minute drill, and CJ had a great play on a 3rd down and 8 where he made the catch, turned up the field, hard physical play, made the 1st down, or we would have been in a punt situation, made the 1st down and got out of bounds. So I thought he was the other one that stood out.
Do any of the backup quarterbacks offer anything that Holton, is there a situational thing that any of the guys offer, or are we strictly looking at a backup quarterback?
Well, I think no, because really I think Holton can do what we need him to do or what we want him to do. Walter Simmons, the true freshman, is an absolute bullet as a runner. You know what I'm saying? So sometime in there, that might become a plan. Walter had a death in the family. He missed about 5 days of practice. I got him back in the scrimmage quite a bit, but didn't get a chance to really get loose. He does have maybe that other ability. He can run at a different level. Yeah, I mean, Holton's a good runner. This guy right here is an exceptional runner. But really the other guys, I mean, Mason is probably more the dual guy, really. I mean, he gives you a good runner too, but, you know, he's got a bullet of an arm too as well. You know, Ryan Stubblefield brings the most energy to the team of anybody out there too. So, I mean, he's a ham. That's what he is. But I don't see it being that way probably. It's kind of Holton's team. It's Holton's offense. And I think the consistency with him, you know, is probably the way we go. That's a great question, I think, though.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all. You know that.